Cataract is a condition where there is a clouding in the lens of eye that affect our visions. Cataract usually related with old ages, but there are some other factors such as abnormal metabolic disorder, trauma, and insufficient exposure to radiation. In our lens, there are dividing cells at the region of periequatorial of epithelium, and the function is to differentiate two lens fibers. If the dividing cells is injured by radiation, it will result in abnormal lens fiber, and this abnormal lens fiber cannot be removed because our lens doesn't have the mechanism for cell removal. Thus, this condition contributes to the beginning of cataract.
So for lens opacification in experimental animals, lens opacification means the process of the lens to become cloudy or opaque. So in some species of animal, especially mouse, they are very sensitive to radiation. So a large population of mouse that are exposed to radiation of accelerated heavy ions, they naturally develop the cataract. For cataracts in human, radiologists have known for many years that radiation may damage the lens of the eye. A study of patients treated with X-rays or gamma rays, in which few doses reached the eye, had provided some view into radiation cataractogenesis in humans. A figure here shows a typical cataract in a patient who had undergone radiotherapy. At early radiation, a cataract viewed through ophthalmoscope may appear as a dot. When the dot enlarges, small granules and vacuoles appears around it. So when the diameter of opacity reach several millimeter, it may develop with a clear center. So now it will look like a donut shape. At the same time, granular opacity and vacuole may appear at the pupillary area. This kind of appearance in a patient that has radiation history will strongly suggest that the radiation is the cause cataract appears in the lens. But if this sequence of event does not exist, it will exclude the radiation as a cause.
Latent period is the time that elapses before an opacity of given severity is evident. In radiotherapy, patients who had received 2.5 to 6.5 gray to the eye, the average latent period is about 8 years. A higher doses between 6.51 to 11.5 gray, the average latent period reduced to about 4 years. This means the latent period becomes shorter as the dose is increased. The accumulation of some opaque fibers at the posterior pole is labeled a 1 positive cataract as the severity of opacity is increases. And some impaired fibers is show up at the anterior part of the lens. The score edges out progressively to 4 positive. The severity of cataract can be assessed quantitatively and objectively by using Schoenfeld imaging system. This device provides a distortion-free digitized image for densitometric analysis of cataract.
Council Radiation Protection, Measurement and International Commission Radiological Protection categorize radiation-induced cataract as deterministic effect. Cataract appear following low radiation dose for a younger person who is exposed, but it is appear deterministic for a mature adult, but they survive in a relatively short period of time. Categorized by 3. First, if the dose below the threshold level, then it doesn't have any effect. Second, if the dose above the threshold level, it will give severe effect. And third one is because the effect is caused by too many damaged cells. The threshold level for the radiation-induced cataract is 2 gray for a single exposure. For a larger exposure, it is 5 to 8 gray in a fraction. The cataract will progress after 6 and 11 years after the treatment. For radiation at the center of the lens, for 40 gray, it will contribute for cataracts. But if the dose is 20 gray, it has no cataracts. was treated with the superficial X-rays, the contralateral eye will receive 9.5 gray in single exposure. And Skulls in 1990 analyzed cataract data from airborne survivors conclude threshold of 1.5 gray. For airborne survivors who is exposed at the early age and for the longer period of time, they will have a cataract.
In summary, cataract is opacification of normal transparent eye lens. Next, failure of dividing cells to differentiate normally lead to cataract, either by spontaneous or by radiation induced. And last but not least, unique features of our eye lens is there is no mechanism for removal of dead or damaged cells.